Already, okay. The Middleman, Chapter 2. Who's this middleman?
Oh, good.
This is amazing.
Oh, good. We're doing this every time.
Chapter.
You will fail, dearest heart, because you do not know what it means to be a witch. We feed off negativity and chaos. Love serves us no power. You will see that in time.
God.
Wish you had me even the day, mother. Yeah, I guess instead of like memories of her past, it's just gonna be dreams of her mom now.
This is
Or
amazing.
nightmares of them. I stifle a groan. Every time I close my eyes, I see Mother smirking at me. I pull my hand away from my face and survey the councilmen gathered around the table. All of them are focused on Father.
Yo.
Yo, you got some stubble now! Yeah, Garland!
Yeah.
Best night.
Not only
Alright.
that, they have armor.
My boy.
They do! Look at that nice chest armor and gauntlet. Garland has. Not Garland, Jurian has. Except for Jurian and Garland, who are looking at me worriedly. It's probably because they're actual knights again, rather than discharged ones. I turn away with a grimace. Legit, I am like really digging Garland's new look. Holy shit.
Badass.
What a cutie. Okay, I cannot let on that I'm barely able to keep my eyes open. I hardly slept last night. If Chevalier hadn't left for the marching before I woke up, he would have known something was amiss.
Oh.
I feel like something's
Well,
different,
hello there.
but I can't put my finger on what aside from the lack of a crown.
It's just tweaks to clothing. It's not that much of a difference.
Well, I
No.
meant like his face. Like his facial hair looks a little different, but I don't know what.
Yeah. I think it's trimmed a bit.
Maybe? I turn to my father, who has been discussing the
Anyway.
possibility of increased taxes over an hour.
While I'm aware that the increase could benefit palace personnel, I will not raise them unless absolutely necessary. I miss Haku for this. He was a good king voice.
He was. Next time maybe I need to tag and be like, yo, get your ass in here. Alright, one councilman raises his hand to voice his discontent. He insists that the increase in taxes would help the knights. Jurian scowls. Rest assured, His Majesty amply, why am I struggling to read today? Okay. Rest assured, His Majesty amply compensates us for our duty. Councilman looks disgruntled by Jurian's rebuttal. Clearly, he was not expecting the commander of the Order of Caldera to argue against increased funding. The conversation makes its way around the table until it's my turn to speak. I'm not afraid to voice my agreement with my father. Before, I would not have cared about the consequences of raising taxes, but now, after getting to know Angiel's citizens, I understand the ramifications of our actions. But it is as if no one hears my opinion. The counselors do not respond to me at all, instead continuing the conversation as if they have not heard me. It's not unsimilar to the group of adults ignoring a child's commentary. My irritation builds as the counselors continue speaking of their so-called benefits until I pound a fist on the table. Are you done? Because while you are all clearing having your wallets in mind, I am thinking of the kingdom. A tense silence fills the throne room. My father's surprise is fleeting. He quickly takes charge of the conversation again. I clasp my hands in my lap. I flinch when the electricity snakes through my fingers. I clench down the magic, trying to quell my panic. I am in control. Luckily, the electricity fades as the meeting comes to a close. Still, I do not miss the nervous looks the councilmen throw over their shoulders as they exit the room. After they leave, only my father and the two knights remain. Your Highness, are you okay? I am fine. The words come out sharper than I intended. Why am I so mad? I ball my hands in the fists and try again. I am fine.
Eyes are glassy.
They are not. This is how it felt when I was first learning to control the Telebarum. If I don't manage it properly, the negative emotions stored in it can influence my mood. I eye the electricity sparking at my fingertips and sigh. I apologize. I do not intend for that outburst to happen. I promise I am fine. Garland offers a hesitant smile.
If there's ever anything we can do to help, please don't hesitate to call on us, Princess. We may not be advisors, but we'll serve however we can.
Jurian nods. I personally think you've been overworking yourself. No, I have not been able to sleep. There's been certain extenuating circumstances involving the Tenebrarum. My eyes flit to my father. I wonder vaguely if he's thinking about my mother's loss of control when he looks at me. I've been working with the witches to resolve the problem, so there is no need for concern.
I have faith in you, Lucette. I always will. But nonetheless, I echo Jurian and Garland's offer. I hope you will not hesitate to speak with me if you need the help.
I offer a tired, grateful smile. Thank you, Father. Though we're still in the process of mending our relationship after years of silence, I appreciate that he's effectively taking steps to make things right between us.
So that you're not insane.
I rise from my seat. If I may be excused, I have an errand to run. After leaving the throne room, I steer myself in the direction of the march-in. My tiredness does not excuse me from my obligations. Right now, I have a responsibility to check in with Delora. Hello? The tavern is eerily silent when I enter. Typically, it's packed with customers at this hour, with a niece calling orders behind the bar. Today, however, the closed sign is displayed outside the Merchant Tavern's door. They must all be busy. Hello? No one responds to my call, at least not at first. Then I hear the unmistakable sound of sweeping from the corridor.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh no.
Eureka! Welcome back!
I back away at the
missed
brooms.
you.
Oh my god. I back away at the broom's sudden appearance. Mr. Broom is unfazed. It hops out to greet me with an invaluable energy.
It's Mr. Perfect Bro.
How about we go for a run, for old time's sake?
Oh my god. They're gonna kill me with all these fancy words this time around. I hope you do not plan on trying to make me sweep today. You know you do not need my assistance anymore.
Oh, come on! That's no fun!
The broom's only response is to hop towards me again. I groan at its exuberance.
Yes.
Is anyone here? I know the broom can understand me, yet does not give any sign of having heard me.
It's time to go. Come
continues
on,
to hop
it's
toward
been a
me.
while.
Look at that
Come
little
on.
nod. No, I'm not sweeping the floors.
I bet you will.
I purposely altered Dolores' charm so the broom could sweep on its own, and yet it still harasses me.
You can't. You can't mess with love, baby.
There's hardly a speck of dust in here. I falter when I notice the dusty footprints by the doorway.
Oh, but there is.
Are my shoes really that dirty? The broom is restless. It seems to quiver with anticipation. Patient.
I left all the dust right outside the front.
I think we should sweep to amuse the broom. What do you guys think?
Yes, do it.
Alright, let's humor the broom. I hold my hands, defeated. It's an obstinate thing, and it will not detest until I sweep away the dirt I tracked inside.
Oh yeah, partner, let's go.
Fine, but once I sweep up my tracks, you will leave me alone.
Yeah, let's go.
The broom throws itself into my hands, then it rushes forward, pulling me with it. Whoa, not so fast! The broom, of course, does not heed my words.
Gotta go fast.
My anger soon fades. I blame the nostalgia, and it makes my mind stray. Before I know it, I'm remembering the first time I came to the March-in. Back then, I remember thinking that being forced to work here was the hardest thing I'd ever done. Even small chores like sleeping seemed a terrible punishment. I was irritated that Parfait and Delora forced me to work when, in actuality, they were only teaching me how the world worked. And Parfait. I always took her company for granted. But now she's gone and she's never coming back.
Oh, what's this?
I swivel in place. Chevalier is staying in the doorway, surprise etched into his face. I realize the thought the dust has been cleared away, and I'm still clutching the broom.
It looks like you two are getting along. I know my place in this relationship, I'm gonna be honest.
I peel my hands off the broom with a sigh. The broom attacked me.
Yeah, okay, that's what you call it. Ah, and here I thought you looked like you were having fun. She really was.
He steps forward and the smile fades.
You look lost in thought. Is there something on your mind?
Spacebar, please. I was just remembering the first time I had a soup with Mr. Broom.
Best day of my life.
Parfait put a ribbon on him because she thought it would somehow make the situation better.
My ribbon.
I note the melancholy in Chevalier's eyes and mentally chastise myself. Why'd I have to bring a parfait in front of him? I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, Lucette. I think Lady Parfait would be happy that we think about her every now and again. I'd also think she'd be happy to know that Mr. Broom can invoke such a meaningful memory. I really can.
What's meaningful?
Anise is suddenly standing behind us, a quizzical smile on her face.
Ah, Lady Anise. I checked the sound we'd heard outside and discovered the princess and Mr. Broom. As always, they make the second most perfect duo.
Second.
I'm sorry, you want to try saying that again?
Broom comes
You
stumping
and
by
I were
angrily.
first. There's not even an I want there. I'm gonna beat his ass.
Anise beams at me.
I'm going to assume you aren't here to sleep. But then, why are you here, Princess?
No other reason to be here.
I came to speak with Delora and Cinna.
Ah, Cinnamon and Lady Delora are in a meeting with the fairies.
They should be back soon, though. If you'd like, I can make you a cup of tea while you wait. I was just going to make some for Chavalier and me.
Or perhaps you'd like some hot chocolate, Lucette. Just a pinch of cinnamon. The sweet kind, not the idiot.
He sets a hand on my shoulder and smiles at me softly.
You look like you could use it.
My shoulders sag beneath his hand. As always, Chavalier can see right through me. Some hot chocolate would be nice. Thank you. I follow them into the reception room. I spend the next few hours discussing the day's events. As always, I let my guard down in front of the two of them. Both are excellent listeners. I have a lot to learn from them.
Like Anise and Chevalier are like a guaranteed thing if you're not on this path.
I feel like they are too, yeah.
They seem to work really well together.
Day fades to night, and stars soon blink at the sky. I'm considering sending a messenger for Delora when the door opens and the woman in question steps inside.
Well, well, if it isn't my favorite princess.
Hemelaine would be offended.
Well, it's a good thing she's not here then.
Chevalier smiles at her mischievously.
You're just glad she's not here because her innocent, sparkling eyes would break your resolve. Huh. So even the ice-cold Delora has a soft side.
Cinna standing in the doorway, arms crossed.
Did you just call me ice cold, Cinnamon?
$5, she's gonna pull an ice prank on Cinnamon.
You don't know what that means.
Cinna grumbles as he takes a seat on the settee. Delora watches him, looking at exasperated. I wonder if something happened at their meeting.
He is a little shit, isn't he?
Laura sets herself beside Anise and looks at me expectantly.
So, what's the news with the Tenenbaum? Have you noticed any disturbances?
Well, I bring up the surge of negative emotions I've been experiencing lately. Delora crosses her arms and sighs.
Well, if this is still continuing after our training, I feel inclined to call it an imbalance.
Or maybe your training isn't as effective as you think.
Oh, would you like to take over the princess's training?
Cinna turns away, cheeks flushed. Yeah, I think a witch would know more about the dark side of the crystal than a fairy.
Correct.
Cinna, I think the princess has made her case. This is something the two of you need to resolve together.
Cinna rises with a scowl.
said this before. There is nothing to talk about. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other more pressing matters to attend to.
Before either of us
Yelling,
can get a word
brooding,
in, Senna
being
leaves
a
the
little
room
bitch.
and slams the door behind him.
He seems troubled.
Cinna is too proud for his own good. The more you corner him, the cattier he becomes. It's even worse today because he had to deal with fairies questioning his legitimacy as the Lucius heir.
What if later down the road it turns out that he's a fake?
Shit.
Believe it.
It's no wonder he feels attacked.
But all I want to do is talk to him so we can locate the source of this problem.
I'm sorry, Lucette. Other than offering you extra training sessions, there's not much else I can do to help you. I think it'd be best if you somehow tricked Cinna into a conversation. Otherwise, you'll need to speak to someone who can tell you a little more about how the Lucius functions. If Cinna continues to be uncooperative, Waltz and I can reach out to some fairies we know.
I feel like Senna would become even more hostile if I spoke to someone that wasn't him. No, I'll find a way to speak with him. Dolores sighs.
Good luck. Trying to get Cinna to do anything is like herding cats.
Difficult, but not impossible.
Though I do not doubt what Dolores says, I must still try my best to see eye to eye with Cinna. The two of us have an obligation to work together as the Tenenbaum and Lucius bearers. I'll figure out a way to speak to him. Somehow.
Says he's Mr. Broom's new bitch. Perhaps we can bribe him.
Guess it's changing colors with the time of day now.
Kinda did
What?
that last time.
Did it?
Mhm.
Chat box? I don't remember doing that, but okay.
Oh, the
No,
chat box.
the chat box didn't.
Yeah. Obviously the character models did. With what? Insects? Chevalier and I are walking to the palace together, brainstorming ways to force Cinna to converse with me. Cinnamon's favorite hobby is bug catching, so it has merit as an idea, but I'm starting to think Cinnamon's actually his full name.
No, I think that is actually his name.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah. I refuse to wave a net around and catch insects with him.
I doubt you'd need a net. Butterflies would flock to you, lovely as you are.
I'd rather not be a perch for butterflies.
But princess, you'd look like something out of a fairy tale.
We don't live in a fairy tale, Chev. The two of us are just round the corner when someone calls Chevalier's name. A dude?
It would be nice if they would at least give us a character model or something.
Mr. Chevalier, sir.
Oh, well, it is a boy.
Shit.
A familiar boy rushes towards us, smiling brightly. Just imagining a kid saying that. Alright.
Doctor, princess.
Oh, I think it's.
God,
I
we're doing this.
I'm continuing this.
I think. I think it's the kid that he helps from dying in the
yeah, I
first
think
one.
so.
Yeah. It's the boy that used to visit Chevalier at his clinic.
Yep.
More than 2 years ago, Chevalier saved this boy's life by striking a deal with the elusive witch doctor.
Oh, this is that kid.
I
Yeah.
wonder if we'll find out who the witch doctor is in this one. The deal eventually caused Chevalier to be cursed. During that time, he didn't remember the boy or the circumstances that caused him to be cursed. Since the curse broke, however, the boy has been visiting Chevalier and watching him work with Chevalier permits it. I've not seen him since Chevalier made preparations to give the clinic to a niece.
What a serendipitous meeting. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company, little sir?
Chevalier crouches down beside the boy, and I cannot help but smile at the sight of them. I've never been good with children, but watching Chevalier interact with them always makes me happy.
I heard a tragic rumor.
God. Oh, care to share?
The boy glances at me, a thoughtful look on his face.
I didn't think of how to do that. Are you and the doctor getting married?
How is that a tragic rumor?
Tragedy.
What?
What? Where in the world did...
Tragedy.
God damn it, Willie. Where in the world did that come from? I'm experiencing a terrible sense of deja vu. I expected Chevalier to laugh or smile. Instead, he becomes oddly stiff. I cannot help but recall the trances that used to come over him when he was still amnesiac.
Amnesiac.
Thank you. Is he okay? Doctor?
Doctor?
Why are these always so difficult?
Hey Abby, you
Okay.
decide first.
Wow.
I'm just gonna throw it out.
Wow, so it's my
Wow.
fault and he's wrong.
Okay.
I would probably say answer the boy because of Chevalier. I can say
If
his
he's
name now.
frozen on the spot, yeah.
Yeah, if he's like tranced out, then that would feel like rude to like also put him more on the spot. But that's
Yeah.
Dylan, call it heads or not heads or tails, odd or even.
No, hold on. I'm trying to logic this.
Yeah.
Like,
Just eat chips.
no, you're helping.
Oh.
Listen here.
I'm listening, but I'm
There's
gonna
no-
eat chips while you talk.
Look. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna go answer the boy too. Is like yeah, she'd be worried, but at the same time, like it's a kid, and he always snapped out of it before.
Mm-hmm.
And she can ask him in private later, like what
Yeah.
that's about.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Oh yeah, because that'll go fantastic.
Well, better than with an audience.
Yeah,
Well, it could
Yeah,
just
we
be
can-
to like snap out of it like that, but like
he always snapped out of the trances before on his own.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vote answer the
I
boy.
don't.
Okay, that's 3 technically for answer the boy because Connor was thinking that. I was thinking that, but I'm also like thinking the only reason I'm thinking well maybe that's not the right answer is because maybe if we answer and we say no or something, he might feel disheartened or something and take it too personally.
Yeah.
Why are these always so difficult?
I mean, we've answered everything correctly so far.
Why can't we just get easy ones like sweep or don't sweep?
What do you think, Willie?
I'm gonna say answer the boy.
Okay.
That's
Seems like
enough
it's
for
unison.
boy. Let's go. Yeah, let's go with that. So we're not stuck in a analysis paralysis all day.
Maybe I want to be stuck in analysis paralysis all day.
You really don't.
Maybe
No.
I do. I lean down to address the boy directly. I don't know what it has to do with any rumors, but no, I'm not married to the doctor. He's very special to me, though. The boy looks at me skeptically.
You're getting married soon, then?
I falter, unable to give the boy a straight answer.
Ah.
Chevalier proposed to me. He would be by my side always. I would get to see his smiling face every night, and he would, by extension, be next in line for the throne. Look at Chavalier, who catches my eye and smiles awkwardly. After a few moments, I smile back at him. Chevalier already worries enough about being accepted by the nobles. Sort of commitment would overwhelm him. I understand that, even if the reality of it is disheartening, but I cannot stand to see the sorrow on his face, so I speak the truth. I think that maybe someday we will be, yes. I say the word for the boys benefit, but Chevalier, who seems more surprised, staring at me, who so owlishly that I cannot help but laugh. Marrying a doctor as nice as Mr. Chevalier would be an honor for a princess.
That's
What is the great Chevalier, master flatterer, at a loss for words?
Oh.
N-
Ooh.
never.
That'd be
I could
fine,
never
boy.
run out of compliments for you. These motherfuckers shine in the dark. That
God,
is
they
the
do.
That was
I
actually
didn't think that
kinda
pose could get better, and then the night version happened.
funny.
That is incredible.
I'm relieved to see him return to his normal self, even if the things I said were embarrassing. Suddenly, the boy steps towards Chevalier, expression somber.
I heard rumors that you were closing the clinic. Now you were going to start living in the palace. And I thought it was because you were marrying the princess.
I'm afraid you've been misinformed. The clinic will remain open. Only a wonderful new lady is going to take over for me. She'll be selling herbal remedies to help with all kinds of sicknesses.
Well, what about you?
I'm going to be a physician at the palace.
You're just going to help the nobles?
No, of course not. But I can't be in two places at the same time, so...
I can tell by his expression that he does not want to go into any more detail, so I assure the boy Chevalier will continue his practice, just in a different place. His sadness dissipates when I tell him he can visit Chevalier at the palace.
I'm gonna be so excited when I tell her I can visit the palace.
Can you actually do that?
I guess they can hear. He runs off after that, leaving Chevalier and I alone.
Absolutely.
I reach for Chevalier's hand. Are you okay?
Yes, sorry about that, Lucette. I blanked out.
You talk about me overworking myself, but are you sure you aren't pushing yourself too hard?
No, I'm not. I promise.
I look at him skeptically. In the end, he only raises his hands in surrender before again taking my hand in his.
It was just a momentary lapse.
Even when you're no longer... I can't say this goddamn word. How do you say it again?
Amnesiac.
Okay. Even though you're no longer an amnesiac, you still have memory problems. You really are an old man.
Alas, I'm afraid even I can't be perfect.
I'm sad there's no glasses gleam for that part.
Same!
He plants a kiss on the top of my head.
Let's return to the palace, shall we? We wouldn't want everyone to worry when you don't show at dinner.
I allow Chevalier to pull me along. As we walk, I wonder how I might get him to speak honestly about what is bothering him.
By the way, Connor, in case you're curious, yes, this is absolutely Shiki voice, just softer and without the guttural part.
3 days later. Remind me again why we're here? Here is a small cafe on the outskirts of the town plaza. Actually, I've been here before. Years ago, when Chavalier was still Rumple, I came to this place to speak with his former fiancée. Though Bria has since moved her sewing business out of Angel, I still sometimes remember our meeting. I actually spoke with her a few times after she and Chevalier officially separated. I even went to her shop to purchase some scarves for Emmeline. But right now, I'm here with Chevalier, who's just ordered dessert off the menu. He brought me here today without an explanation. If he hears my question, he gives no indication.
Oh, cinnamon rolls. Too annoying. Are you sure you didn't want anything else, Lucette? Look, they even have this fancy hot chocolate. They serve it with rose petals.
Me being the extra person I am now, at some point in my life, I'm going to make hot chocolate with rose petals because I am adult with adult money.
Because Chevalier said so.
Yes.
Worth it.
Chev. His name comes out of the sigh.
What a mournful sound. What's the matter, my sweet princess?
You didn't answer my question. Why are we here? He smiles at me coyly.
Why, for a date, of course.
a date?
Your cheeks are red, Lucette. It is precious.
They are not. Words come out louder than I intended, and when the customers at the tables nearby turn to look at me, I feel my cheeks warm again. Chevalier smiles at me.
Oh.
Chevalier is right. The last few nights have been especially rough. Though I have been by the merchant a few times to see Cinderella, his mysterious disappear. What?
He mysterious disappears. No, that's not you. That's an actual
Okay,
type.
yes. He mysteriously disappears every time I show up. Can I help but wonder if he's using magic to vanish?
Who knows?
Oh, also, I have something else planned as well.
He gonna pop the question. Okay. Something else.
Oh my god, no way. Yes, a surprise. You'll see soon.
I'm wondering.
Are we
if-
gonna get a screenshot of that? Who knows?
I'm wondering at the vagueness of the words when the server sets a small plate down on our table, and it's filled with biscuits. You know you've been hanging out in video games too long when you see the word server and you think of like a gaming server and not the person. And I'm like, shit. I'm not
Oh, those are nice cookies.
shaped like lilies.
Oh, clever dick. Did you know that this cafe only started serving these biscuits recently? Ah, we got our first CG.
Yeah.
Hey!
I reach out to grab one of the cookies off a plate and admire the delicate frosting work. Even the flower filaments are carefully crafted.
He does have a ponytail, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if he cut it before the ponytail thing or if it's just all the same hair, just in a ponytail.
Yeah,
Only recently.
that's right. All in honor of a certain crown princess.
Chevalier laughs.
You weren't paying attention when I ordered them earlier, were you? Otherwise, you would have reacted to them being called the Princess Lily Platter. What a name.
But how would they know what my favorite flower was?
Who knows?
Who
Oh, yeah,
knows?
sorry.
I totally didn't tell them, and the lily in your hair is totally not a giveaway.
She doesn't literally wear. Perhaps someone who happened to know her very well told them. What a dick.
I look up
What
and
a
meet Chevalier.
dick.
I look up and meet Chevalier's gaze, baffled. Why?
Because I don't like to be the only one to spoil you, and because I wanted to show you that the townsfolk like you.
Like me?
Of course.
Lucette, we've been over this. But I try my best to speak with them, it's true, but I'm nowhere near as good as conversing as Emmeline. People may no longer call me the Ice Princess, but that does not change the fact that my social skills still leave much to be desired.
Do you need me to say what I think, Lucette? Or can you already guess?
I should let people spoil me, right? Chevalier claps his hands together.
Exactly!
I think we should thank him.
I'm still stuck on old Lucette. I would have said object, but
Yeah.
But this is new, Lucette.
yeah. I mean, we're 4 for 4 so far.
Okay, Connor's with me on the thank. So that's 2 votes for that
I
one.
vote. 3 votes for thank.
Alright.
I mean, at this point, that's the guaranteed one. So yeah, let's go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You are quite welcome, Lucette. You don't need to thank me, though.
Of course I do. If you're going to spoil me and go to such lengths to have other people spoil me as well, the least I can do is thank you. I sigh as I take a bite out of the cookie. As strange as the situation is, I'm still grateful.
Your smile is more than enough gratitude for me, Princess.
You always say that.
Because it's true.
I pop the rest of the biscuit into my mouth before reaching for another and holding it out to Chevalier. I hope you do not plan on making me eat all of these by myself.
Of course not.
He takes the biscuit with a bright smile. He always goes out of his way to do such nice things for me. I should do something for him as well. My mind wanders back to the stall full of scarves we visited not too long ago. Chevalier mentioned he needed a new scarf.
Yeah, absolutely.
He no longer wears a scarf Bria made him, but because Chevalier is Chevalier, he puts in other people first and never thinks about what he needs.
Princess.
Suddenly,
Oh,
his
jeez.
face is mere inches away from mine. I startle and fall back into my chair. Why must you always get so close?
I'm not.
Damn,
I
it's like...
feel you, chick. I feel you. It is a lot easier to read your mind when I can look directly into your beautiful golden eyes.
This is one time where I don't want him to read my mind. He's perceptive to a fault. How can I surprise him if he sees it coming?
I hate it when they do this.
I'm trying to think who it might be.
And here I was under the impression this was a meeting for...
I would think it would be Cinna. That's the only person I can think of.
Let's just skip it and go and see. Because this doesn't do us any good.
And here I was.
Yep,
No!
I was right. Alright.
That was so close.
Oh, it was Cinna.
It was so tempting.
Who else would it be? Alright. I turn in my seat and surprised to see
Yep.
Cinna standing beside our table. He surveys us skeptically. Cinnamon, what are you?
What a pleasure it is to see you again, tiny lord. Call me that again and I'll burn your biscuits.
Biscuits.
That sucked.
I eye Chevalier, who only flashes me a knowing smile. Is that what he was referring to when he said he had something else planned? I turn back to Cinna. You will not set anything on fire. Please sit, Cinna. Cannot lose this opportunity to speak with him. Cinna pulls up a chair.
So, since the old man is the one who called me here, I'm going to assume you want to talk about the Tenenbaum and Lucis.
He eyes Chevalier.
Remember what you promised me for this. A cinnamon roll? Yes, I'll buy you one.
Oh, god damn it.
Cinna flushes a deep red. It takes a great effort to stifle my laughter. Yo, I wonder how many times he came back from places and bought, like, parfait or parfait.
Cinna, the most precious cinnamon. You don't want to finish that sentence.
Yes, he does.
Despite his protest, Cinna does not budge.
I bet you I do.
So he has a weakness for cinnamon. I should not be surprised. I glanced at Chevalier. This was not just a date. He set up this time for Cinna and I to meet. Leave it up to Chevalier to find a way to make this work. I clear my throat. To answer your question earlier, yes, that is correct. You have heard what I told Delora.
I have, and
I want to discuss the balance between the Lucius and the Tenenbaum.
said before, that's not necessary. I don't intend to change the way I'm handling the Lucius.
He's acting like a petulant child.
Sound familiar?
What do you mean by handling the Lucius?
Cinna raises an eyebrow.
I don't need to explain it to you. All you need to know is that I don't intend to succumb to the Crystallum the same way my cousin did. Like Lady Parfait.
Like parfait. We speak at the same time.
Are you two parrots? Please explain, Cinna. There's nothing to explain. I just told you. I plan on doing things differently from my cousin.
I feel like he's the reason there's an imbalance.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I will
You
not
didn't get that
make
vibe,
mistakes
like,
you
immediately?
did.
Here he falters, and for a few moments his bravado fades, and he looks uncertain. He looks young, like his age. Cinna. I lean forward. I know what it's like to have to take over someone else's job without being prepared for it. I understand wanting to do things differently. I'm doing things differently than my mother, after all. But I also know that I need to explain those differences to others because my decisions impact all of Angiel. That's why I want you to speak to me. Your plans impact both of us. Cinna refuses to meet my eyes.
Cinnamon.
Eventually he grumbles and looks up.
That's Cinna. And fine, we'll talk. But you have to promise not to interrupt.
I'm glad to Chevalier, who nods at me encouragingly. There's one thing he taught me the importance of. It's listening. I promise. Cinna's quiet for a few more moments. Then he begins to tell us a story.
Or not.
Chapter 3, Pacifist. Maybe this is the start of the story.
Oh. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there were two crystals. One was the Crystallum Lucis, protected by the rule of the fairies. The other was the Crystallum Tenebrum, which was watched over by the High Leader of the Witches. For a time, the fairies and witches lived in harmony with the humans of the kingdom.
He stops suddenly, cheeks flushed.
You're laughing at me.
What? I am not. Cinna just glares at me.
Maybe we could skip this part. We've heard it before.
Cinna sighs.
Delora tells this story all the time and no one laughs at her.
Dora does tell this story a lot, doesn't she? Chevalier looks like he's trying not to laugh.
Then by all means, feel free to tell the story however you like, Cinna. I'm already intrigued. Don't patronize me.
Cinna starts again at the beginning, describing a time when the fairies and witches got along.
Why?
Then inevitably, Hans destroyed the balance with his fairy tales. Normally this would be the part where the storyteller explains that the Tenebrum, my mother, went mad after the witch genocide. But Cinna surprises me by going off on a different tangent.
When Hans realized what he'd started, he beseeched the Tenebrum and Lucius Bearer to meet with him. Tenebrum Bearer wanted nothing to do with Hans. Her heart was already overfilled with hatred for the humans. The Lucius Bearer attempted to meet with Hans on her own, but the bard was killed by a witch before their meeting.
I stare. How did I not know this?
With Hans gone, the conflict spiraled out of control. The Lucius Bearer, Faye...
He stops suddenly, his gaze forlorn. Faye. Parfait.
Faye. What a lovely name. Suits her.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't know that because they never met the mother in his storyline.
Yeah.
Cinna clears his throat.
Rather than put an end to the Tenebrum Bearer's atrocities, Faye clung to her hope and optimism. She didn't try to stop the tragedy until much later. You know how the Tenebrum works, Princess Who said, so you must know why Faye was the way she was.
Sorry, that's my chew. Alright. The Tenebrum gathers and stores negative emotions. That sends me those emotions to diffuse. This keeps the balance in check. It goes to reason that the Lucius would gather positive emotions. It used to irritate me that Parfait was always so positive. I thought it was part of her personality, but... You're saying that Parfait was that way she was because she absorbed the positive emotions from the Lucius?
Yes and no. Faye was an optimist at heart, and Lucius just magnified those feelings. It blotted out other necessary emotions, like anxiety, caution, all of the things contained within the Tenebrum. I My cousin lost herself to hope and refused to see reality.
Now I'm like really wondering how different this is gonna be on like Fritz's line because none of the magic or anything exists anymore.
It wasn't until the Tenenbaum Bear killed the king and started wreaking havoc that Faye finally took a stand. Even then, she only took action when another witch came to her with a plan to defeat Hildur. Kiddo, that didn't happen in this timeline.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a goof on their part.
Oh, wait. No. Sorry. This is during the war. This isn't our
Yeah.
game.
Oh yeah, okay.
I had to think about.
Oh yeah, probably. Oh
thinking that the
yeah,
whole time, like, wait a
Lucette's
minute.
grandfather. That would be Waltz. He told me the story of his apprenticeship before. Snap pops a lily-shaped biscuit into his mouth and looks at us both expectantly.
So, do you see? You said before you didn't want to make the same mistakes as Lady Parfait. Which means you've been closing yourself off to the Lucius because you don't want it to impact your judgment. You make it sound like I'm not doing my job.
Technically, you're not.
It's because you're not.
Oh, I never said that, but it is possible that closing yourself off from the Crystallum has been doubling... Is it possible that closing yourself off from the Crystallum has been doubling the intensity of the emotions in a Tenenbaum? These words, man.
I put my fingers to the temples of my head and grimace. I don't know if Lucius works exactly, but I know that the balance between the two crystallum impacts this kingdom and the magic in it. If the balance is not maintained, magic will inevitably go haywire.
I doubt it. You'd be able to see the ramifications if it was directly impacting the Tenenbaum. With all due respect, Cinnamon, I think we already see those ramifications manifesting in the princess. She is the bearer, after all.
He looks at me, uncertain.
Or am I misunderstanding?
I'm not sure. I don't know what happens when the two are out of balance, but I cannot help but recall Parfait's fragile state. She suffered from an illness Chevalier cannot cure. Parfait was frequently in pain.
Oh no.
She says because of what happened to her during the war, but do you think the imbalance between the Crystallum might have impacted her as well? Chevalier stares at me wide-eyed.
But it was not just the weight of the Lucius that burdened her, but the weight of the Tenenbaum as well.
It's possible.
Because there wasn't a bearer for a while.
Yeah, because Lucette wasn't 18 yet, so she
So
didn't grow into her
if he's not
powers.
doing his job,
Son of
that's
a bitch.
basically in the beginning stages of what Parfait was suffering from.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
minus
Oh.
the impact of the war as well. But yeah.
Yeah, so it's not as severe immediately.
Cinna raised an
Less
eyebrow.
of the immediate effects of the war, but more of the aftermath,
Yeah.
which can debatably
Remember,
be much worse.
we saw her at the tail end of it, right before it killed her.
Yeah.
So Lucette's not really that bad off yet, because she's in the beginning stages of it.
Yeah.
Give it a minute.
Yeah, and she's not going as long as Parfait did. Cinna raised an eyebrow. He still looks unconvinced. Cinna, as the bearer of the Tenenbaum, I am prone to nightmares. Sometimes negativity causes my magic to flare or makes me impatient with people. I've accepted these are inconveniences that come with being a Tenenbaum bearer. I'm accepting the emotions that come with the Lucius are part of your responsibility.
It's not the same thing, Princess.
Yes, it is.
I want to argue with him.
I mean,
Cause it's like, bruh, your fairy cousin went poof before my eyes in other timelines. So I mean,
yeah, smack this kid down. Lay the smack down on him.
okay, that's 2 for argue.
With a smackdown on him, buddy.
Anyone else?
You. I say argue.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Look here, kid.
Meanwhile, a voice in the distance, "You want I should beat his ass?"
You hear a groom thumping angrily on the horizon.
Angry sweeping.
I fail to see how it's not. The longer this conversation carries on, the harder it is to remain calm. The festering negativity of the Telembarium hardly makes it easier.
With all due respect, Princess Lucette.
If you had any respect, you would stop talking and start listening.
Oh shit.
Both Cinna and Chevalier stopped to stare at me. What? I am sure Chevalier was thinking the same thing.
You adults are all the same. You refuse to consider new perspectives.
I'm trying to understand you, Cinnamon.
That's Cinna. Let's try assessing this from a different angle, shall we?
Cinna turns away with a scowl. I force myself to take a deep breath. Last thing I want is to make Chevalier worry when he already has other problems to deal with. I come to my argument from a different angle. Rather than insisting, I ask Cinna to rethink his methods. Chevalier is quick to back me up, but he does so in a way that makes it seem as if he is seeing both sides of the argument. By the time we are done talking, Cinna looks defeated.
Wrecked. Fine. I'll do what you ask, Princess, but only on the condition that you let me do it my way. Tiny Lord, you're much too cynical for your age. Keep this up, you'll have permanent wrinkles on your face before the year is up.
Damn.
Fucking wrecked. You should smile more often.
Now say it with a German accent.
And you need to learn how to face reality, old man.
Chevalier just laughs.
Life is all about balance, as they say. And I already have a very dedicated princess here to help me master it.
And now it's weird.
He smiles at me fondly. Years ago, when I first met Chevalier, he taught me the value of trust. I, in turn, lectured to him on self-gratitude. I'd like to think we both have been good teachers to each other. I know Chevalier does still give a lot more than he receives. Cinna sighs.
I am not in the mood for your philosophizing. Thank you very much. But I suppose you are in the mood for a cinnamon roll. Oh, is the Lucius bearer embarrassed? One more word, and I will shatter your glasses. I was gonna make a shatter joke, and he did it for me. Thanks, kid.
Chevalier is completely unscathed by the threat. He's smirking when he orders the cinnamon roll for Cinna. Relief washes over me as the date carries on. For the first time in a long while, things seem to be looking up.
Did we ever see the correct thing?
No, so I guess that was the wrong one.
Well, shit.
The days pass in quick succession over the next week. Remarkably, I'm able to fall asleep and stay asleep. I don't know if Cinna has done anything to Lucius, but I'm relieved for the change regardless. It's been 4 days now since our talk at the cafe, and I have some time on my hands after a meeting with Father and the counselors. Chevalier, who already knows about this, has been by in a few hours. Last I heard from him, he was busy setting up his new clinic space in the palace. His absence works to my advantage. I have some time on my hands to do something nice for him without him knowing. In the end, I decided to go with my first idea, the scarf. Chevalier has been in need of a scarf for a while, and he's not the same without one. The question remains, what kind of scarf do I get him?
Ooh.
I think we should make him one.
It might remind him of Bria, but at the same time, like, you can't not appreciate the But it also seems like the obvious option that ends up being wrong. Do we even know if she knows how to do that?
Well, she's the one that taught Waltz how to sew, so I would think she knows.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah. Connor thinks we should make the scarf.
I'm gonna be honest.
And I'm leaning
I'll agree
towards
with
that.
it. I feel like it's the wrong answer, though.
Connor's reasoning is that they'd like the thought. I would think so, too.
Yeah, I think it's more meaningful to make it.
Okay, so that's
I agree.
3.
My only, like I said, my only concern is that I
It
feel
might
like it's gonna
remind him of
remind
Bria.
him of his ex.
Well, I
Also,
mean,
the-
even if you buy him one, I feel like it still would too.
That's a good point. Also, the text is now working.
Yeah,
So
I saw
maybe-
it working on and off, so I guess I was just bugging out.
Yeah, it might just be a stream thing.
Yeah. Alright. We'll make him a scarf.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I sewed anything. When I was lonely, I used to sew puppet companions for myself, but I've never made clothing. I still remember the scarf Bria made for Chevalier. Is there a way I can make one that looks even half as nice? Bria made a living as a seamstress, but me... I shake my head to clear it. I will make him a nice scarf. A maid passing through the hallway pauses to look at me. It occurs to me belatedly that I spoke aloud. I must say words to them to be true, then so be it. Well, it's been years since I sewed anything for pleasure. I'm easily able to locate my supplies. I set everything on the table and start working. The longer I work, the easier it becomes to focus. Eventually, I completely lose track of time.
And what is my lovely Lucette doing?
Oh, damn it.
The minute I catch against Chevalier's glasses, I grab the materials off the desk and sit on it.
I really hope she didn't have the needles in there. Ho ho, keeping secrets, are we?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Are you hiding another romance book? Okay, hold on.
Is it Tusk Love?
Oh god.
Oh my
damn
god.
it.
I will never forget the day Chevalier found me in here reading one of the romance books Emmeline lent me.
Oh my
Or
god.
rather, he will never let me forget it.
Rat. I should bring by another so we can read it together.
Willie, if you ever suggest to me we read a romance book together, I'm gonna smack you with it, okay?
I make no promises.
I'm gonna smack you with it.
Okay.
Make sure it's a paperback then. Last time he read a romance aloud, I wanted to throw myself out the window. And that's precisely why I will smack you with it. If you do that again, I will burn the book of magic.
Is this where I say that I have been working on my Chevalier voice?
Even if it's Emmeline's.
Can I jump out the window now? I mean, I won't hurt myself because I'm on ground level, but can I jump out the window now?
You're the only one that can hit the space bar, so you're gonna have to wait until the end of the stream.
Nah, Willie can just drive half an hour, it's fine. Even if it's Emmeline's. Chevalier laughs as he leans closer, close enough for me to see that playful shimmer in his eyes.
You never answered my question.
It's nothing.
No?
He
Oh,
leans
Jesus.
even closer until his lips brush against my ear. Are brushed. Until his lips are brushing my ear.
If it's nothing, then you won't mind me sweeping you off your feet to see.
I grip the chair with Chevalier's hand set some. Oh no, the surprise be spoiled.
This is amazing.
Before he can lift me off the chair, I lean forward and kiss him, hard. He freezes, but his surprise is only momentary. He kisses me back, his fingers trailing down my back and sending shivers down my spine. When we part, he steps away and holds his up his hands in surrender.
Fine, I admit defeat.
Good, because you can never hope to best me. Chevalier laughs.
No, I suppose not.
He blops on the bow facade. It occurs to me that today was his first official day as the palace physician. How was your work?
Good, I suppose.
You suppose? Chevalier shakes his head.
There wasn't much to do besides organize my inventory and order medication. Most of the nobles and servants who came by were healthy.
How dare they?
And how were they? Chevalier's expression is carefully neutral.
As I said, they were all healthy.
But how were they when you spoke to them? I can't help but recall the way the two ladies at town looked at him. Many people, nobles included, are unafraid to show their dislike of him. Because Chevalier is Chevalier and dislikes speaking ill of anyone, he probably does not want to admit it. I really do wish you would talk to me. I feel like we should hold off.
What worked with him in the original?
I don't know. I feel like we should hold off because, like, he looks like he really doesn't want to talk about, and then if we press him for it, he might insist about what we're trying to hide.
That's a fair point.
So it'd be like
Yeah.
a trade thing.
Yeah, I will hold off for now.
I do
Yeah.
feel like, if I remember correctly in the original, he did appreciate her being, like, stubborn, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, she would kind of come off as a big old hypocrite.
Yeah, like there's like a line sometimes you gotta remember is there, and I feel like if she pressed him for an answer, it might be crossing the line a little bit at this moment, especially since she's hiding something that she doesn't want him to press her for.
Yeah. Okay. Convinced me well enough. We're only down like one answer anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the same rules as the last one, it's 3 strikes, you're out. So, and we haven't hit 3 yet. Because that's when we'd be careful, because I think it's like 4 total. I trust Chevalier. I have faith that things get too difficult, he'll talk to me. And I'll always be here to listen to your concerns. Just as there are things I would rather do alone, there are things he too must want to figure out on his own. Being able to support him in that endeavor is enough.
Thank you, Lucette. As always, you're the brightest, most glorious ray of sunshine in my life. And the best listener. I feel like I'm not doing anything different.
That's high praise coming from the actual best listener. His response to the
Jesus.
compliment with a soft kiss on my forehead. Oh, that's the right answer.
I will never tire of your compliments, my sweet princess.
He pauses, suddenly looking thoughtful.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Of course not.
What do you propose I do about my more troublesome patients?
I'm surprised by the quiet determination in his eyes.
I don't want you to needlessly worry about me. I know you have a lot on your plate.
When I do not say anything, Chevalier sighs and pulls off his glasses.
Oh,
He
shit!
regards me silently with his violet eyes, gaze somber. I notice he only takes off his glasses when it's just 2 of us. He's much easier to read when he's not wearing them. Well, what have you done in the past with troubling patients? For one, Chevalier is at a loss for words. While he's still distracted, I take the opportunity to quickly pull the uncompleted scarf out from beneath me and fold it up. Then, before Chevalier can question what it is, I tuck into a drawer and turn back to him.
How mysterious.
Don't you go poking in that drawer, mate. I clear my throat. Chev, do you ever think about what is good for you? I know the answer to that question too, but I enjoy the bewilderment in his face when I say it aloud.
What a silly question, Lucette. Of course I do. I'm a doctor, what?
I eye him skeptically. I think maybe you should spoil yourself more often. Oh, throwing his advice right back at him. Oh, okay.
Motherfucker.
Chevalier looks of shock and bothers me more than it should. Before he can object, I grab his glasses off the bed and set them on the bridge of his nose. Or my nose.
I know. Yo!
Yo, look at me looking nerdy. Sorry, let me try that again. I tilt the glasses in the hope that I can make them glint the same way Chevalier
Oh my
does.
god, yes, please!
I think maybe you should spoil yourself more often, Chev. Chevalier's shock disappears, replaced by bemused glee.
Oh? I don't think so at all. After all, I think I'm already the luckiest man in the world to be spoiled by you.
Being spoiled by others and spoiling yourself are 2 different things.
I love this picture so much. Oh, my princess. Your words take an even more sophisticated air with the glasses. Although,
He laughs.
I'm sorry. Even though I'm sure you wear my glasses better than I do, I can't appreciate your beauty because I can't see you.
How bad is your eyesight?
Miserable.
I'm sitting right next to you.
Bruh, I feel you. Not close enough, I'm afraid.
See, I just can't make out fine. Ouch. I can't make out fine details. Like, I can see a foot. A foot in front of my face.
I'm about I would estimate like 2 or 3 feet from my computer, and I can't read it without my glasses.
I am like literally nose to screen when I like, try to work on my computer without glasses.
Jesus.
I'm like, hello. I'm like 6 inches away, even though I can see about a foot. I sigh out, but in the end, shift closer so I can lean my head to his shoulder. Chavalier does not miss the opportunity to plant a kiss on my forehead. He smiles.
I was right. Your eyes are... Holy shit.
Right?
Scintillating?
Sounds
Not entirely
right.
sure. Yeah. Scintillating behind those lenses.
Are they sparkling?
What?
Are the glasses sparkling?
Sparkling?
You always somehow make your glasses shine.
I'm afraid that is my secret technique, Princess.
I thought you would say that.
Thank you for trying to cheer me up, Lucette. And for reminding me about something so important. I think the glasses do make you more convincing, by the way.
I have no doubt they're the reason you're so silver-tongued. Chevalier looks horrified when I hand his glasses back.
You make them sound like magic.
It's not strange to think someone might have charmed them.
Think I was just born charming?
I wonder. Chevalier looks sure of himself when he puts the glasses back on. You promise that if someone bothers you, you'll come to me?
I never keep secrets from you, Lucette. I never have, and I never will. Unless they're meant to be surprises. Then that's a different thing entirely.
He gives me a pointed look, a mischievous smile curling his lips.
I'm sure you understand the excitement of keeping a secret.
I shrug as nonchalantly as I can manage. I will not rise to his bait. He's not finding out about my scarf.
Anyway, other than a few disagreeable patients, everything has been splendid. I'm enjoying the work so far. So long as I can help someone, I'm satisfied.
So it may not be the kind of work he's used to, but I hope Chevalier's patients will treat him well. The more I think about it, the more I question the reason Chavalier moved his practice here to the palace in the first place. He said that he did it because the king personally offered him a job, and he couldn't refuse, but... Chev, you didn't move into the palace because of my father's proposition, did you?
Oh no, I wanted the change of location. I get to be closer to you this way.
But... Chevalier puts
Oh,
a finger to
Jesus.
my lips.
No buts, lovely princess. I moved my practice here because I wanted to. You know how long I've thought about this.
From what I remember, it wasn't very long at all. Chevalier does not lie to me, so I will believe him. The tide of our conversation changes after that. Chevalier asks me about my day, and I'm forced to make up a lie on the spot to avoid telling him the truth. We walk for a while after that until I'm forced again to attend my responsibilities.
Was that choice right or wrong? I always miss those.
Okay, that was the right choice.
Okay.
After I finished all of my daily obligations, I head to the forest for my last meeting.
What?
Laura is waiting for me in the clearing, with a usual smirk on her face. I guess it's lessons time. I could sense the buildup of her spell moments before she casts it. Moments before her spell slams into me, I erect a small shield to block her magic. I sigh as her magic shatters my shield. It's nice to see you too, Delora. She always greets me like this. She says it keeps me on my toes.
Nice weather we're having tonight, isn't it?
I love this woman so much.
She looks at me, curious.
Where's Casanova? He didn't follow you out tonight.
He tried, but I didn't let him get very far. In fact, I froze his feet to the ground to make sure he stayed in the palace. It was obvious he needed to rest. Delora just snorts.
Wow.
You two are perfect for each other. You're both stubborn as rocks.
I dismiss the words with a wave of my hand, prepare myself for Delora's next spell. Our training session begins as it always does, with Delora throwing spells at me and giving me only moments to counteract. We review shields, then basic offensive magic, and then charms. We're nearly onto object summoning when it occurs to me to ask about Senna. When he first arrived in jail, he watched these practices from the sidelines. But tonight, he's nowhere to be seen. How is Senna?
Are you actually worried for him? Or are you just wary because he's been so difficult lately?
Both.
Worry no more. Cinna's turned over a new leaf.
She pauses, then gives nearly an imperceptible shrug.
Well, half a leaf, at least.
Half.
He's a skeptic at heart, so it'll take a bit for him to open up completely. But what you said must have left an impression on him. I guess in the end, it makes sense you could help him best. The two of you are very similar, after all.
She flashes a feline smile at me. I roll my eyes, all not given to her teasing.
I know he can be difficult sometimes, but Cinna really is a good kid. I hope your talk with him could show you that.
He said I didn't want to repeat Parfait's mistake. I'm glad his reasons were not selfish.
He may act like a skeptical old man, but he's a kid at heart. He's definitely easier to deal with than a certain ice princess was.
It's only a matter of when.
She raises an eyebrow at me. Is it really necessary to bring up the past? You speak as if you had lots of experience with children, but you only compared Cinna and me. The smirk falls from Delora's face abruptly. Oh, this is the only, it's only on Fritz's storyline we learned she was a mom. So Lucette doesn't know.
I forgot.
I just realized that I never told you about her.
Her. Laura crosses her arms against the cold, and I'm taken aback by how small she suddenly looks beneath the shadow of the canopies.
Laura, my little girl.
You have a daughter?
Had. I lost her during the war.
Whatever words I had been about to say lodged in my throat. When I look at Laura again, she's frowning up at the starry sky. Times like this, when it's impossible to change what's happened in the past, there's only one thing I can say. I'm sorry. Laura shakes her head.
It wasn't your fault. You don't need to apologize.
For a long time, the two of us stand there, look at the stars, and then hesitantly, I break the silence. What was she like? Laura smiles wistfully.
She was a lot like you and Cinna. She was free-spirited to a fault, and always spoke her mind. And even though she never admitted to being a soft heart, she would always jump up to the defense of others.
She gets.
I used to tease her all the time, and she'd get embarrassed and snap at me. She was my greatest treasure.
My mind whirls, supplying images of humans attacking Delora's daughter. How could they have hurt a child? She doesn't know who killed her either! Delora seems to read a question from my expression.
He was killed during the war by Hildur.
It's as if the air is torn from my lungs. I suddenly feel cold, empty.
I was unsympathetic to Hildur. She believed that the only way to show me how much she was suffering as the Tenenbaum bearer was to make me suffer. So she took away the person I loved most.
Delora,
You don't have to say you're sorry, Lucette. For a long time, I've been wondering if I should even tell you this story. Never wanted you to blame yourself, but now you know, after everything you've gone through, that you are not like Hildur. When Hildur killed my daughter, I thought I'd never get another chance to have someone like her in my life. But then, you came along.
Her smile mellows.
I think if Laura had grown up, she would have been a lot like you, Lisette. And now I have the honor of watching over a taciturn fairy too. Lucky me, being able to watch over both the Tenenbaum and Lucius Bearer.
She steps close enough to set a hand on my shoulder.
I know you said that in your nightmares. Your mother told you you weren't good enough. But I know that's not true. I get to witness your magical strength every time we practice. And I know firsthand how dedicated you are.
I cannot help but smile. Even though my heart is heavy with so many revelations, Laura's words make the burden easier to bear. I have Chevalier and everyone at the Merchant to thank for that. Laura grins at me.
Well, of course. But you remember what Parfait used to say. Goodness is innate in everyone.
She taps my chest.
So really, you had it in you all along.
She draws her hand away with a grin.
So do you feel better now?
I should be asking you that. Laura shakes her head.
What's in the past is in the past. Honoring Laura's memory is all I can do for her now.
Honoring her memory. I hope Senna and I are able to do that for Parfait and Mother. Laura backs away.
No more getting sidetracked. Show me what you've got, Princess.
Listening continues into the night. It's obvious, however, that Laura and I have our minds on different things. I have no doubt she's thinking about Laura and me. I need to do my best to honor my own mother and to keep those I love from suffering. And that includes Chevalier.
Okay. In Lucy's defense, it's kind of not fair to call her weak. I'm pretty sure Hilda's a special case, considering she can literally impale a grown man with her bare hands.
Yeah, and since it's midnight and we reach the next chapter, that's where we're gonna stop for now. How do I
That
say
is
this?
fair.
Boop. Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's fair to call someone weak when you are exceptionally freakishly strong.
Okay, consider if it was anyone else, I'd agree with you, but because it's Hildur, her calling everyone else weak is just like, I'm just that much better.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, because she freaking was. Like, the only reason she didn't basically wipe the party in every ending is because there was always an excuse for her to be weakened.
I mean, technically, she kind of wipes the party in Fritz's bad ending.
She pretty much does. You're not wrong, that's true.
I mean, because, like, she killed Garland, I'm pretty sure.
She kills everyone and mind blanks her daughter.
And she kills the
Yeah.
king. Yeah, mind blanks her daughter in one of the lines. And then, like, technically she didn't kill... Oh, yeah, she killed Dolores, she killed Garland, she killed the king. And then she only got taken out because Parfait was there. And Parfait is like, nah, you're going out with me. And then they both went out.
Yeah, that was wild.
We're spoiling this all for Connor, but, like, you know what? He had time.
You know what?
Go back and watch
Yeah,
it anyway.
you got time.
Is it
You got
totally
time, you got all of
possible
tomorrow.
to TPK? What does is it total party kill in this game? It depends on the storyline. And for this one, I don't know, because this is my
In
first
this one?
time playing the
What?
sequel. And the
Yeah, I
other
think-
one, it was like my second playthrough when we streamed that. And it was only during one of the storylines, which unfortunately was
Yeah.
our favorite, but it was the most tragic ending.
I
Always.
think she basically did wipe everyone in one of the endings.
Yeah, in the
Except,
Fritz's
no,
bat
because,
one.
yeah, I think it was the Bad Fritz ending. She
Yeah.
wiped,
Mhm.
like, everybody and was still there because she was using Lucette to keep him around.
Yeah, I can't remember if she killed Fritz too or not. or if that
Wait, no,
was
that was the Bad Waltz ending, wasn't it?
Bad Waltz
Yeah.
ending was the mind blank. That was it.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of.
But the total party kill was Fritz's bad ending, which I know she kills. I'm pretty sure she killed Delora. If it wasn't Mithros,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Delora. I mean, not,
No,
if
it
it
was
wasn't
Delora.
Mithros that killed her, it was Hilda that killed her. She killed Garland, I'm pretty sure. Killed the king. I can't remember if she was the one to kill Fritz or not, because I just know he stepped in the way and got hit instead. And then she only died because Parfait was there, and it was like, nah, we're both going out. And that was on both endings, I think.
Yeah, I think the only person we didn't actually see die was Jurian.
Yeah, she was too busy
I think
being
so, yeah.
heartbroken. Yeah, because it was Garland that died.
Speaking
Yeah.
of impalement.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, I'm
like,
not gonna lie, that was badass though. Like they're just they make no hint whatsoever, and then out of nowhere she literally just ganks him in the chest with her bare hands. That was fucking cool.
and I was like, no, that was my favorite, one of my favorite side characters. Ah!
I was just more shocked by the move.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been easy for her to just, like, friggin' lol blast someone,
Yeah.
but no, she had to make it extra.
Anyways, so we got chapter 4. Not quite halfway, but there. What do we think the main conflict is gonna be? Like, who do we think the big bad's gonna be?
I don't know that there will be one yet. I think it depends on the lines.
Yeah,
Good.
well, for this,
Honestly,
well,
I
for
think
this
so, yeah.
one, because it's obviously gonna be very different, which is probably why they have us pick the person right at the beginning. Because it's gonna be very different.
Because there are big variances now in the endings.
Mhm.
Like, again,
Oh yeah.
in Chevalier's original ending, they never dealt with Hildur. She hadn't even been mentioned.
The
They
only
didn't
time
even-
you would deal with Hildur is in Fritz and Waltz's storylines. That's it.
Yeah, well, I think they talk about her in other ones at least, but they don't outright mention her. Like in Chevalier's storyline, they don't even tell us that she's in the crystal.
Yeah.
I don't
Connor
think they
thinks
didn't,
Cinna's gonna be the big bad guy, and I think he might be too. But I also think since we don't
I-
know where the mom is, I feel like
No,
she
I
might
don't-
come back.
No, I don't think. I think he's
I-
gonna be the start of it. I don't think he is the big bad.
I could see, at least in this line, I could see Hildur being the villain again.
Yeah, I could see her being the villain again in all except for
In
Waltz and
this line,
Fritz,
at
yeah.
least. Yeah.
because she's technically
they
a
haven't
possibility for all except for Fritz and Waltz.
They haven't said anything about her being gone at the beginning of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the fact that they opened up with her, I don't think those are nightmares. I think she's reaching out.
She might be, but we don't know that. Yeah, but we won't know until we actually get to the lines where we know she's actually dead.
Yeah.
I will say both nightmares were the same dialogue.
They were.
Yeah, they were.
So
That's true too.
they weren't like new things, it was just repeated.
It might just be like an influence thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Like subconsciously reaching out or something.
Yeah,
Put it
either
this way,
that
if
or
you
it's just the
don't
negative
still-
emotions from the crystal are so strong, and since she has kind of meh memories about her mom, it's just manifesting as that though. So
That's also very possible. Yeah.
yeah, we don't have enough info
No,
for
no,
that.
it's just we don't know.
Yeah.
Like they didn't cover what happened in like Chevalier's ending. There's
Yeah.
no explanation of what happened to her mother.
Yeah, from what we do know though, from playing the first game, I feel like the mom might make a return in all of the storylines except for Fritz and Waltz.
Again, just because they didn't actually take her, like, you know,
Yeah.
she wasn't released or killed in those 3 lines.
Yeah, or even known that she was there.
Yeah, they didn't say a word about her being in there.
I also wonder though, when we get to Fritz's line, if Cinna's even going to be a character, because magic's gone, so there's no more crystals, so it's like, is he just not going to exist? For
He
that
might
line.
still exist because they didn't just outright disappear.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
no, I mean,
like-
like, he won't exist as a character in there. Not like he doesn't exist,
Maybe,
period.
yeah.
Like, we won't see him.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, he could, like,
Well, he has to be alive during the original.
Well, yeah,
So,
because he's the
My
heir.
first thought is he could show up anyway just to find out what happened.
True, probably.
Like why his cousin's dead and why Magic's gone.
Oh, yeah, all the witches and fairies come and be like, well, because it's 2 years later. I feel like they'd easily cover that.
Oh, who knows?
There's one way to find out.
Next time!
Woo! Alright. Thanks to everyone for watching the stream. If you are at a loss at what the hell is happening, I have an entire playlist of all the storylines on YouTube. Link should be just below the screen here, I think to the right of the screen. And I do name whose line it is, and we both have bad and good endings, but because we suck so much, we always got the bad ending first.
We did.
But the good ending happens after. The first storyline we did was Karma, so if you want the full intro, watch that one first, because we skip that whole beginning part until you pick who to continue the story on with on all the other path lines. So I would recommend watching Karma's first, at least to get the background on the entire story, rather than just the guy's story. And with that, we will see you guys next Friday around 9:30 Central Time.
Ish.
Yeah, and if you're on YouTube, whenever, because sometimes I upload this right away before I go to sleep, but sometimes it gets close to 4 in the morning and I say screw this and upload it throughout the week. Alright, we'll see you next time.
Have a good night, YouTube.